Hey guys, thank you so much for clicking on my video. So today we're going to be playing with the new Anastasia Riviera palette, and I'm going to use this palette to create this eyeshadow look. So if you want to see how I did that, just keep on watching. Alright guys, so for my base today, it's going to be the MAC Paint Pot in Soft Ochre. And I'm going to take a Morphe M173 brush, and I'm using that to apply it to my eyelids. I've really been loving this technique lately, using this brush with this product. So we're going to go into the palette, and with my Wet n Wild blending brush, I'm going to pick up the color Cans, which is the purple color in this palette. And I'm going to pack on the color onto my eyelids. I'm not swiping or anything. I'm just packing on so I can get the most pigmentation from this color. Alright, so now I'm picking up the color Bahamas with my Luxie 249 brush. And I am just applying this in small circular motions on the perimeter of the color Cans, blending out those harsh lines, which is what you see me doing here. And then I'm going in with the blending brush from the Morphe Gold Eyeshadow Collection. And I picked up the color Monte Carlo. And I'm using that to blend out the color Bahamas. Trying to create a good gradient. Then I'm picking up the color State with the other side of that Luxie 249 brush. And I'm using that to highlight my brow bone. So today we're going to be doing a halo eye. So I'm using that ColourPop concealer in the color Fair on a really tiny synthetic brush. And I'm cutting my crease. But with the halo eye, you actually cut your crease in the middle, leaving the outer corner and the inner corner colors in place. Halo eyes could be a little tricky for people with hoods like myself. I just say take your time and make sure that you bring that concealer over the hood so you don't get any transfer. Now I'm going back in with the color Cans, and I'm picking that up on a Morphe M213 brush, and I'm just blending out the edges of that halo eye that we just created, just so we could get a seamless gradient. Now I'm going in with the color Palermo, and I'm picking that up on a Morphe M421 brush. And I'm packing that onto my lid right there in the middle part of that halo eye that we created, leaving the top clear because we're going to add that blue color later. And I really wanted that shade to pop, so I did take my Smashbox Primer Water and I did foil that shadow, and look how gorgeous it is once you foil it. So that's what you see me doing here, just packing that color on. So then I'm going to take my Luxie 221 brush, and I am picking up that color Seashells, and I'm applying that kind of like a blue liner, very detailed, concentrating that right in that negative space we left. And I really wanted it to pop as well, so I did end up foiling this shade. And it just created the most beautiful blue metallic. So now I'm going in with my It Cosmetics Superhero Liner. And I'm just creating a wing. I have a hooded eye, so my wings tend to be very thin. But that just works for my eye shape. If you don't have a hooded eye, you could definitely do more of a dramatic liner, but if I do too thick of a liner, then it covers up all the work that I created. So my wing is very thin, but like I said, that's just because of my eye shape. If your eye shape is different, you're more than welcome to create a thicker wing. So I used two of the LA Girl Shockwave Neon Liners. The first one I used was in the color Electric. It's a beautiful blue, but I kind of wanted it to be a little bit more seafoamy blue, like that blue eyeshadow. So I did pick up another liner, and that one was in the color Fresh. And I just placed that on top of the color Electric. So then I went back in with that Morphe 213 brush, and I picked up the color Bahamas, and I'm using that to smoke out my lower lash line. Then using the same brush, I did pick up the color Cans, and I'm focusing that color more on the outer V of my lower lash line, blending that in with the color Bahamas. And then I'm taking my double-sided brush from actually my Urban Decay Cherry palette, and I'm using that to highlight my inner corner with the color Seashells. Then I put like 3 coats of the Nars Climax mascara on. I really love this mascara because it definitely makes my lashes stand up and stand out, and my curl is definitely more pronounced using this mascara. So that's what you see me doing here, putting on a few coats. And once I'm done applying my coats of mascara, I just spray my face with the Smashbox Primer Water. Alright guys, so this is the final eyeshadow look using the Anastasia Riviera palette. So a couple of things about this palette. One, I want to note that this palette does contain 3 pressed pigments. So the 3 pressed pigments are, I believe, Bahamas, Cans, and Palms. Palms I didn't use in this tutorial, but one thing to know about pressed pigments is it does say that they are not eye safe. Because of the FDA, you have to mark that pigments are not eye safe because they can cause staining around the eye. Almost all eyeshadow palettes nowadays contain some form of a pressed pigment. That's just the kind of name of the game. If you want the pigmentation, it's most likely going to be a pressed pigment. And because of the law, they do have to note that it's not technically eye safe, but I've never had an issue with a pressed pigment. Just make sure you do prime your eyes, because if you go in with these shadows on bare skin, you will get staining. So I use the MAC paint pot in Soft Ochre to be my base for this eyeshadow look. So there is, like I said, 3 pressed pigments. So please note that when you are buying this palette, if you're someone who doesn't like pressed pigment, or you feel like pressed pigments stain your skin, there are 3 in this palette. Now the rest of the matte shades are traditional eyeshadows, but overall this palette is extremely pigmented and beautiful. I definitely think Anastasia came out with this palette at the perfect time. Spring is starting, festival season is starting, and I can see a lot of people getting a ton of great looks out of this. So I'm excited to add this to my Anastasia collection, and I definitely am excited to play with this a little bit more and see what other kind of looks I can get from it. So with that being said, thank you so much for clicking on my video today. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel so you know when I upload my next video. And I'll see you next time. Bye guys!